everyone, back again. DJ and Simon with What a Load of Bowls, thanks to the Bowls Academy. Well, Simon, last week, as you talked about very glowingly, you were selected to represent Zone 13 in Interzone. How'd that go for you, mate?
Yeah, welcome back, folks, for another week. Yes, DJ, Interzone Championship all weekend there, just passed. And sadly, we didn't get out of the group stage. Now, there was some bad weather over the weekend, so they ended up having to reschedule some matches. Saturday afternoon game did not go ahead, so they done away with a quarterfinal. So instead of normally the top two of each group went through to quarterfinals, and they done away with the quarterfinals, and top in each group just went through to semi-final. But sadly, our last group game was against Zone 16.
Yep.
Tough side. A lot of experience in that Zone 16 side, and sadly we got beat by 2 shots overall, DJ. So came down to the wire, came down to the last bowl. But those guys went through to the semi-final, won the semi-final, got through to the final on Monday afternoon, and those guys came away with the chocolates. Zone 16 won the event. So I guess it's not all bad when you get beat by the eventual winners of the competition. So that was my weekend, DJ. That was action-packed weekend full of bowls.
Yeah, well, if you're satisfied with going and just getting a participation award, mate, good to you. Good on you. I've got a rare achievement though, mate. I'm one of the only players that's undefeated in Platinum Pennant and Interzone this year. I've nothing to show for it, but undefeated.
Yeah, I was going to say, we played against your zone, DJ, and you weren't there. I was expecting you to be there.
I wasn't there, mate. No, mate, look, I'm getting... I just thought I'd let the younger ones have a crack at it, mate. I'm getting on a bit, so...
Okay, I can see a few greys coming through there, so
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially in the last 10 weeks dealing with a podcast with you. It's not easy carrying you. But you carried me on the green for a while, mate, so I'll carry you off the green. It's all good.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, DJ, what did you get up to this week?
Yeah, quite enough week until today. It's been a pretty busy day. I had
hectic.
Yeah, I took a little trip down to the old stomping ground down in the Illawarra. Had a few business things to tend to down there, but I managed to get around a few of the old stomping grounds. Went to visit Bulli Uniting Church, which is where Jan and I got married. Nice sandstone building there. Popped into Thurl Bowling Club to see how that's going. That's fairly changed since I was last there.
Yes, I do remember your days down there as Bulls coordinator.
Fondly, mate. I was only there 12 months, but I tell you what, it was a tough one to leave in the end. Like, it was quite emotional in the end.
Yeah.
Had a few battles while we were down there. As always, cultural issues. Like, the club was divided at the time I got there, but went a long way towards unifying that. It was a good time. I walked into a president and a secretary manager that didn't want a Bulls coordinator. So I didn't. Right. But by the end of it, the two of them were making me counter offers to try and make me stay. So I've obviously done something pretty well down there.
Yeah, it was a good turnaround. Yep.
Yeah, I still remember it. I sent a photograph to one of the guys there, Josh Miller, and Josh was kind enough to share that in the Thurl group and also share the podcast link. So if any of those guys from Thurl are listening, how's it going? Keep in touch. Yeah, I had a lot of good times down there. I mean, like I said, it was only 12 months, but it was a tough time to leave. But that's 10 years ago now. That's scary when you think about it. From there, you
made a trip up to the city, did you? I think you battled through some Sydney traffic, and you loved it.
I don't know how you do that. It is, but like you said, man, I called in. There's a little club in there that sort of wanted a little bit of guidance and how to change things and how to progress and to build on things. Little club St. John's Park. So I just thought I'd call in and give Anthony Cawdy there a bit of advice and what I would do in their position. And they were pretty grateful to meet me and hear what I had to say. So hopefully they can build on that, mate. And the club can get bigger and bigger from there. So good luck to them.
Some good discussions there with some of the staff there you had.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was good. It was good to get in and see them all. Something different. Like Anthony's actually been a keen listener. He's got in touch with me a couple of times about a few different things. So, and he was complaining that a certain member of his staff had more mentions than him. So I'll just keep saying Anthony for a bit, and hopefully Anthony will get top up on the list. And keep keeping a tally down there in the Bulls office.
Yeah.
There's only to be fair, like they're battling. There's only about 17 of them in the Bulls office. So man, it's different. Honestly, this St. John's Park is a different level, isn't it? It is incredible. Incredible. But yeah, they've basically the reason for that visit was down in the area. Like I said, I've been speaking to Anthony a bit, and we're looking at doing some live streaming stuff at City, and St John's Park's got a pretty good setup. So Anthony was kind enough to show me that and how they went about that, and give me some contacts. So it's good to network like that in the area,
nice.
and throughout the clubs. Yeah, like I said, it's always good to help those little battlers every now and again.
Yeah, always good. So moving on, DJ, we've
mate.
You caught up with our next guest speaker or player interview during the week. So yeah, who have we got?
Sure did, mate. Sure did. Little known player Gary Kelly. Gary's a Northern Irish international and Irish international.
Yeah,
and mate. Busy schedule, the big fella, but luckily enough, he was able to sit down with us for a little bit. He doesn't do too many of these, so it was nice of him to sit down with us. Well, I'd say he doesn't do too many. He doesn't do too many for free. But but good old Gary being a good friend of ours from way back. I mean, he sat down and gave us time, had a bit of a chat with him about where he started, where he came from, and yeah, I mean, it was we cut it down to about an hour, but I think the conversation went for about 3 between the two of us because we know how to talk.
Yeah, I had plenty of editing to do for that interview.
Yeah, but, you earned your keep this week, didn't you?
Yeah,
but it was good, man. Good to get a bit of insight. It was an easy one to do because like we came through the ranks with Gary, and I've been close with Gary for a while, and so it was easy to know what they ask when they ask it. This one, so again, but they made it hard to try and keep it down to a decent level, so we're not sitting there for 5 hours and people listening. So it'll be a bit of a longer one, this one, but hopefully, like the people of Australia, they get to see and hear what Gary was like before he got here, because obviously he's made a big name for him out here. Like I've been hammering on him for years about this is where you need to be, and he talks about that in there about he wanted to make sure the timing was right and stuff. So yeah, by all means, I think it was a good one. I will advise everyone if you are listening on Spotify, I don't know if you know, but you can actually slow down the speech in this one, and it might be worthwhile because the two of us, when we get together, it gets a bit carried away, and I'm not very conscious of the old Australians and needing me to slow down a bit, and neither was Gary. So
that's a good tip.
Yeah. So I would try to maybe slow that down to listen, but yeah, it was a good one, mate.
Yep, it was good, DJ, and both of us played with Gaza back in the day. We all played in the same team back in Ireland and played against each other at juniors and things like that. So yeah, it was good to maybe come a bit of a full circle round. We're all here in Australia, and good to catch up with the Gaz. So let's delve into it, DJ, and see what insights you got from Gary Kelly.
Welcome back, folks, to What a Load of Balls. We've got our second player interview for you this week. Welcome in, good mate of mine, good mate of Simon's, Gary Kelly. Gary, welcome.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
No worries, mate. Just going to rattle through some of the achievements that we've got listed here for you. Just give me half an hour while I get through this, brother. So, Irish cap number 409. You've had 2 World Championship selections, mate. A few world titles amongst that. You had the World Cup in 2019, World Pairs in 2023. You've got a silver in the pairs from 2016 and a silver in the singles from 2023. 3 Commonwealth Games selections. From there, you've got a bronze in the singles. You got a silver in the singles in Birmingham. 2 Australian titles, 1 Aussie Open title, 3 BPLs with the Melbourne Pulse. They've been pretty good to you since you came out here, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
Yeah. 2 New South Wales titles, 4 zone titles, 8 British Isles titles, 21 Irish titles, World Indoor silver in the singles at the tender age of 18, as well as a mixed pairs bronze at the World Indoor. Atlantic Rim, mate, you've got gold pairs, silver pairs, and a bronze in the singles. Multi-nations, you've completed the full set of the singles. You got and then a gold in the pairs and a bronze in the pairs. European Championships, gold in the singles, gold in the triples. You've been to the Hong Kong Classic a couple of times and brought home a pairs bronze. And you currently work for Warilla Bowling Club in horticultural and maintenance for the club, mate. So, it's a pretty fair list there, buddy. Be proud of that.
Yeah, no, obviously it's something I'm generally quite proud of and that there. So, yeah, the opportunities I've received to, represent the country and represent Warilla and play with friends and different things. So, yeah, it's been nice to accomplish some of them things, yeah.
Yeah, nice, mate. Good. So, mate, we'll just we'll do what we try to do with all the guests. We'll just start at the beginning. So, for Gary Kelly, mate, where did it all start? How did you get into the sport?
Yeah, so it all started, mate, back in the hometown of Ballymoney in Northern Ireland. I was 12 years old, and a schoolmate of mine, Conor Gilmore, introduced me to the sport, and that's where it all started. And yeah, naturally, I sort of really enjoyed it and had an understanding of the game, and pretty much just led from there. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah, nice. Mate, what was your first taste of success that you had? Like, what really then grabbed you into the game?
Yeah, so obviously I was practicing, participating a lot in the sport and really enjoying it and that there, and quite naive to the obviously the competitive side of it really. But I'd entered the under 25 Irish indoor national singles, and somehow at the age of 14 I was fortunate enough to win the under 25 Irish national singles indoor, which was pretty cool, and I was a little bit unaware of what I was really achieving. But yeah, that was great.
I think you summed it up there. The naivety sort of helps there, doesn't it? You don't know what pressure is at that age if you're just trying to enjoy the game. So worked out well for you.
Yeah, that's it. I was just trying to enjoy it, trying to embrace the game and obviously try and develop and progress.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So battling around the greens of Ballymoney and stuff, both indoor and outdoor. What was your first representative selection, and how did that make you feel?
So my first representative selection was at the age of 15 for the under 25 Irish outdoor international team. So that was my first opportunity from a selection point of view and a team perspective of representing my country, which was absolutely fantastic, and something I was really looking forward to at the time.
Yeah, nice. Do you think you were expecting it at the time, mate, or was it just a bit of a surprise?
Oh, definitely a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, I was quite young in that there. But I was lucky enough to get a couple of wins on the board at a young age, I suppose. And yeah, they could see a little bit of potential in me, and they gave me that opportunity, which I'm very grateful for.
Well, certainly not many make it at that age, mate. So it's definitely you're obviously showing a bit of something. I mean, like I know from experience and being around you a lot and coming through that same sort of time. I mean, you were earmarked for success. I mean, you burst onto the scene, like you said, that's 14, winning that Irish under 25 title, which led on to a British Isles title. And how was that, mate? As a kid, did you feel the support from the people around you? Obviously, you showed that potential, but did you feel that the setup was there for you to succeed, and or was there a bit of a target on your back? Do you feel? And was there any added pressure to back that up from such a young age?
It was one of the ones I was very, very fortunate where I began my journey in the sport at Ballymoney Bowling Club. I was surrounded by fantastic people and part of a great club back in Northern Ireland. So I was very lucky that I definitely had a lot of great support and great people on my side and helping to nurture me and help me to develop and learn the game and trying to do the right things sort of on and off the green as such and that there. So they definitely helped me and encouraged me and motivated me. As far as target on my back, once again, I think you're just at that age, you're so naive and you're just wanting to go out there and embrace it and enjoy it. And if you get wins along the way, that's super. But I didn't really personally see it like that at all. Maybe later on in my career, but definitely not then.
Yeah, sort of comes with the territory, doesn't it? But people want to chop down the big trees.
Yeah, say all that there sort of came in the later end of my career as such. But the way I see that personally is I just see that as a compliment. At the end of the day, obviously you're achieving good things and you're doing good things on the green. And, if you're a big fish as such and people's want to get a scalp against you, well, that's a compliment. And at the end of the day, yeah, look, we're all out there trying our best and listen, bring on every challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So, mate, there certainly wasn't a lull after that. I mean, there's always that sort of risk when a young person's experienced success at a young age that they sort of fall by the wayside and take it for granted, but you definitely didn't have that. Many wouldn't really know this, but you hold the record or the honour that and it'll probably never be beaten, to be honest. I mean, it'll take some talent, but you're the only player to win the Irish under-18 singles and the Irish Open singles event in the 1 year, and that was back in 2007. Was this a bigger statement than that under-25 title at 14, do you think, mate?
I think it was a bigger statement. It's one of them ones, every result and every success, and title you achieve is great. And all the junior and youth events and that they are brilliant and they're definitely fantastic stepping stones and they can create a great pathway in your career. But really getting that big one and winning an open title, against everyone else in the country was... that was a real big one for me, and a son I was proud of. And to win the under-18 and the Open in the same year was pretty cool, and son that I'm proud of.
Great, mate, great. Me and Simon touched on it in another podcast, but for those that aren't familiar with the game back at home, we have an outdoor and an indoor season. Obviously because of the weather and stuff that we've got at home. So from late September through till April, we are indoors. Two types of format there. You've got the stadium, long mat, and you've got the short mat, which is usually played in your little community halls. You've had success in all three formats, mate, with those Irish titles. So that's a big credit to you as well. And then from the months of April through to September, that's our outdoor season, which to me was always the big one, the one that everybody wanted to do well in. Your first senior cap, though, came on the indoors, mate, didn't it? What age were you, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, so my first senior Open Cap for Ireland was in the indoor format. I was 16 when I got my debut in that. So yeah, look, obviously I was young in that there, but I was very motivated at that stage. I knew at the age of 16 it was definitely a sport that I loved, definitely a sport that I wanted to continue to progress and develop myself. And it was a sport I could see myself potentially achieving genuine good success in. So yeah, I knew it was a game for my future, and yeah, I was really motivated to try and achieve and do well. So yeah, to get that at 16 was definitely a great feeling and something I wanted to continue to build on.
Cool. So the experience, mate. Can you remember the guys that you played with in your first cap? Can you remember what rink you were on?
Yeah, I think it was Paul McEwen, Steve Moran, and Marty McHugh was
Marty
my
McHugh.
rank that I led.
Not bad. So, mate, after that first experience indoors and getting that the senior international cap, how much did that then drive you to go, right, oh, nice, my goal is to make the outdoor squad? And when did you make that outdoor side?
Yeah, so from that, obviously, there's a great desire and passion and determination to continue to grow and develop and work harder. And as fantastic as the indoor setup is back in Ireland, and that, the big one really is the outdoor, because that's where all the majors come from. That's where your Commonwealth Games and your World Championships and the Atlantic Rim at the time and European, etc., etc. So that's where, I wanted to definitely make that team and achieve success there, because I knew that's where the big opportunities were. So I was fortunate enough to make my debut for Ireland at the age of 18 in the open outdoor. And once again, I was lucky enough to make progress and make a move at a young age, which was great.
Yeah, that's it, man. So, again, for those that aren't familiar, when you make those international sides, you're in a team of 24. And then from there, the aspiration is to be picked in those larger events where you're in maybe the top 5, top 6 selected to go and represent the country, mate. So what was your first larger event you were selected for? And how was that?
Yeah, so from that, moving on, my first sort of main event or major event as such was the Hong Kong Classic 2009, I think it was. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity with Neil Booth, who is now the team manager and head coach for Ireland. So yeah, look, that was pretty special. Anyone that's been to Hong Kong, they're great people. They are fantastic. What a country, and just what an experience, both on and off the green, and they couldn't be kinder to you in that there. So that was a fantastic experience, and to go there and taste a little bit of success and gain a bronze medal in the pairs with Neil was very special. And it proved to myself at a major multi-international event I can be competitive, which was great.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what they're still a large scale event that everyone wants to aspire to, but it's a stepping stone, isn't it, to make to those World Championships and the Commonwealth Games, and that's what happened to you in 2010, mate. You got selected for the Commonwealth Games in India. What was the lead up to that like, knowing that the Irish titles are starting to roll in, you're probably a chance of making it, but then to actually get selected and to know that you're going to play in that blue ribbon event, you're going to get the singles berth, which is the one everybody aspires to have. For us mere mortals, mate, how does that come about? Did you get it? Is it a phone call? Is it a letter? How do you get informed of that?
Yeah, so obviously I was getting wins on the board, and I was winning national titles and things like that. So I knew I was taking steps in the right direction, and I was in the conversations and in the mix. Did I honestly truly believe that I was going to get the nod in the selection? I wasn't 100% sure of that. But yeah, when I got the phone call from Jim Baker to say that I'd been selected to represent my country at the Commonwealth Games and get the singles berth, and back then you only got one discipline, and they say that that's the big one, the Commonwealth Games singles. It was just a surreal feeling. It was absolutely incredible, and yeah, I mean, it was genuinely and honestly something that I had dreamt about, from the age of 14, 15. So yeah, to get that phone call and to be given that opportunity, and the big thing is just it's such a big stage, and for your country and for them people to have that belief in you and have that trust in you to go there and represent your country and potentially achieve success it's a great feeling, and yeah, something I'll never forget.
Yeah, awesome, buddy. And so what was that experience like in Delhi? And I'm sort of looking more off the green now. I mean, obviously it's a massive multi-sport event. the only thing bigger than it really is the Olympics. You know, for you to go there with other people from our country playing in all these different sports, it's the pinnacle of our sport. You know, how was it being there in India, new country that, you know, I'm assuming you'd never been to before, or maybe for a test series or something like that. But, you know, how was it there off the green? Was there much for you to do? What was it like being in the village and stuff?
Yeah, it was a weird feeling, you know. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement, but then there was a lot of worrying all at that time about, you know, security situations there and all with the Commonwealth Games and things, and you know, getting to and from the village to the venue and things like that there. So there was a lot of armed guards and things like that, which was, yeah, you know, a real eye opener and something I'd never experienced before. It was quite incredible. And then the village itself, you know, it was amazing. Just towers and upon towers and just people everywhere, and you know, and you're rubbing shoulders with some big names and different sports, you know, in the canteen area and that there. And the village was a fantastic setup, but once again, there was issues of them getting a finishing time, and they were actually still finishing parts of it when we arrived. And it was well documented back at the time that there's a lot of big names actually didn't attend the Delhi Commonwealth Games and things like that. But look, from a personal point of view, it was brand new to me. I was super excited, super pumped. Yeah, I got to rub shoulders with a lot of people and meet a lot of great people from different sports. And yeah, I loved the experience. It was something pretty special for me.
Nice. So back on the green then, mate, you managed to bring home that bronze medal. How was that feeling after winning your first major medal, and how much did that drive you on to add to that experience with the World Championships?
Yeah, it was one of the ones that was truly a bittersweet. I just wanted to, at the beginning, just go there and be competitive. When I did get there and having a real crack at it, I was building confidence and I was genuinely playing quite well. And you know, I got to a point where I truly believed that I could actually win the event. So when I didn't win it, there was such disappointment. So there was, but then at the same time, to still walk away with a bronze medal for my country was, you know, and once I had a couple of weeks and that there to really take it all in, it was something that I'm very proud of. And you know, that first real major opportunity, you know, that singles, it's all on you. You know, all the weight's on your shoulders. You know, there's no one so-called carrying you. It's down to you, your mental toughness, physicality, and technicality of the sport and everything. You know, and yeah, to walk away with that bronze medal was special then, but it was a bittersweet one for me.
From there, we move on to the 2016 World Championships in Christchurch, New Zealand, where you and Ian McClure picked up a silver medal in the pair. So how did that feel to be back at another major and come away with another medal, mate, of your first World Championships?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of challenges from 2010 to 2016. Yeah, I just kept trying to motivate myself and show that determination, that passion, and get wins at national level and things like that there. And thankfully I did. And I got my debut in 2010 at Commonwealth Games. So, you know, the next major ambition for me was to get that debut at World Championships, you know, the pinnacle of our sport, to try and win a world title. And to get the nod and selection in 2016 was sweat and tears went into trying to achieve that there. And to get that selection was amazing, you know. There was a major relief, and it just motivated me, you know, once again to really, really go for it and represent my country to the best of my potential and ability, and trying to achieve more success for my country.
Yeah. How was the experience in New Zealand? Was it a bit different? Is there a bit of a different feel, mate? Obviously, like you've just talked about the Com Games and the multi-sports and being there, like a bit of a different feel around the World Championships?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more of a failure. There was, being honest about it, there was, you know, you weren't as distracted, I suppose, maybe in a sense. You were definitely a
Yep.
lot more focused because it was purely bowls and bowls only.
Yeah.
So there is definitely more focus there and less distractions in that there. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. Obviously, that was a major experience in the Southern Hemisphere for me. And, you know, the greens are extremely different, you know, in the pace. You know, you're looking at 18, 19 seconds during the 2016 World Championships, you know,
Yeah.
and the timing of it, you're just coming off outdoor greens back in the UK and Ireland and stuff. It was a real eye opener, and then the wind, a huge element, you know, in the sport and
Yeah.
that. But yeah, thankfully, look, I was surrounded by great people and surrounded by people that had that experience before, so they're able to pass up their knowledge on to me and help me to overcome them challenges and things. And thankfully, really enjoyed the experience and performed reasonably well.
Well, obviously well enough to keep your spot, mate, because we move on to 2018 and you're in the Commonwealth Games again. That was held at Broadbeach. There's a bit of a disappointing one for the Northern Irish team and for you individually, mate. No medals came away from that, and that's bowls is one sport that when it comes to Commonwealth Games, we usually medal pretty well in it. So I'm sure for everyone there, it was a bit disappointing not to bring one medal home, but we won't dwell on that too much. But how was the feeling during the Broadbeach event then in comparison to the Delhi event?
Yeah, no, look, there's no doubt it was definitely disappointing for our country. I think that was honestly the first time since 1982 that we hadn't brought a medal back for both long bowls and Northern Ireland. So it definitely was disappointment there within the camp and that. But, we came very, very close. There was a few quarterfinals there and things, so we weren't far away. But obviously we all used that as motivation later on. But yeah, look, the event was incredible. Obviously I'm based here and live here in Australia. What a country, and they really know how to put on a show. And as fantastic as Delhi was, and it was my first experience of Commonwealth Games. Yeah, the Gold Coast was just absolutely insane. It was what a spectacle, what a show, and and there was disappointment on the green as in not achieving success, but as from an enjoyment. The spectacle was just absolutely incredible, and I absolutely loved every moment of it, even with the disappointment on the green.
Yeah. So you obviously, while you're there, mate, you get to go and see all other different sports that you wouldn't normally get. So it's a pretty good experience, I would imagine, being a mere mortal who'll never get there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once again, you're getting to rub shoulders with a lot of big names in the sport, and we're fortunate as athletes. You get like a pass, which allows you to gain access to any sport and things like that. So there was opportunities to go and watch different sports and watch some memorable achievements for people out there and things. So it was really cool, and it was definitely something that I'll not forget.
Well, here's one for you. What sport outside of bowls at the Commonwealth Games did you enjoy watching that you wouldn't maybe thought you would have?
Obviously, as a slightly biased, I suppose, but I really enjoyed going to watch the boxing because Northern Ireland has been extremely successful in boxing and that.
Yep.
So that was very enjoyable because you were getting to see people, achieve their dreams and things and get medals on the board for themselves and for our country and that there, and maybe speaking to them a few days before. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, nice. Yes, it's quite funny that three of the best medals in sports for our country are boxing, which is violent, shooting, of course, and then you go down to lawn bowls, a little bit more of a step back.
Yeah, non-contact sport. Yeah,
no contact. Although I'm sure sometimes you wouldn't mind if it was, mate. Right, moving on to. So you finished the Commonwealth Games in 2018. We move on to 2019, mate, which was a pretty big year for you for other reasons off the green. You made that big move to Australia. So how was that initially, mate? And how did it come about? And, how's it going for you? And basically, mate, as I've said to you all this time, what took you so long?
Yeah, so how that all came about really was in 2018 at a multi-nations event in Wales around July time, I think it was. I was fortunate enough to represent Ireland, and Australia was there as well for that event. And within the event played, and I represented Ireland in the singles and the pairs. I was lucky enough to win the gold in the singles at that multi-nation event and bronze with Stephen Kirkwood in the pairs. And at the event, obviously, I got quite friendly with all the different nations, but in particular the Australians. And I spoke to R&Ts, and R&Ts basically said to me, look, mate, there's a potential opportunity at Warilla if you'd be willing to, make the journey out here and give it a crack and see what you think. So that was really just the initial conversation that happened with Aaron. So he came back. Jeremy was based here at the time, Jeremy Henry. He spoke to Jeremy, spoke to Philip Kipp, the CEO, the board of directors. And there was, communication back and forth to try and, come to, a conclusion and a deal as such, whatever way you want to put it. And yeah, look, thankfully, we made it happen, which was awesome. And applying for visas and different things. And it was all really set in stone come October to move over January 2019. So obviously it's going fantastic. I'm absolutely loving the journey. What an adventure, both on and off the green. It's been fantastic. It's been life-changing, I absolutely love it here. What a country, What took so long? It was one of the ones, I always wanted that safety net, for me personally, it wasn't coming with a backpack and taking a risk and things like that. There was that element to it, and then there was also very, very, passionate person. I'm loud and proud. Wear my heart and my sleeve, sort of thing. And I've always been that way, and I'm very, very proud to represent Northern Ireland and Ireland and that there. And as fantastic as life is here, and what this country's gave to me, I'll always cherish and remember my roots. And for me, it was very important to continue that relationship and that there. And I wanted to, if it was possible, achieve the outcome of continue to represent my country. And I think it was important for me to try and build that trust and belief, and build a reputation for myself that was possible. And for me, if I came too soon, well, that opportunity's gone. That's personally how I saw it. So yeah, for me, it was just about, I wanted to try and make sensible decisions, and it was important for me to wear that green shirt and represent. And and at the time of coming, I had conversations with family, of course, and I had conversations with Irish Bulls, and I can't thank them enough. They were extremely supportive at the time, and they backed it, and that meant a lot to me. And and here I am living here 5.5 years later, and still getting an opportunity to represent. So that means a lot to me. And also what it does for me as well, it showcases to me that it did take a while to come. It was the right decision, which means a lot.
Yeah, it was all about timing, mate, wasn't it? You didn't rush it, like you said. I mean, I've been hammering you since I've been over here, saying you got to get out here, and so definitely you seem to have timed it right. Just with that, mate, me and Simon did an episode there a week or so ago, just about the difference in bowls back at home and out here in Australia, and we spoke to Ray Pearce about it in one of the last interviews. So for you, what's some of the biggest differences both on and off the green from bowls back at home and bowls here? And how have you adapted to be at such a high level still?
Well, obviously, from the club perspective, I mean, the clubs are huge here, like they're just massive, it's incredible. It really is, compared to the clubs back home, there's size and stature of them and that, it's just fascinating from that point of view. Obviously, so from the playing perspective, we're fortunate back in Ireland, UK, and that, where you've got the indoor and the outdoor seasons and stuff. And from a speed perspective, okay, yes, outdoor season, you're looking at 9, 10, 11 seconds back in the UK, but over here you're looking at 16, 17, 18 normally. But I think they had the backing from the indoor seasons to be able to be versatile with all of that. The biggest factor for me was the wind. That's the big one. Speed for me personally, I was okay with. It was just that wind element, and it's still very difficult. It was very challenging. I don't think I'll ever master it. It's something I'll always have a little bit of difficulty with as such. But look, I just continue to grow and develop and try and gain as much knowledge as I can from it, and not try and overcorrect and things like that there. And then another thing as well, just the sport is so professional here. It's extremely professional. There's a lot of great opportunities, administration ways, and from a playing perspective as well. So there's so many opportunities that way. There's a lot more sponsors involved and things like that. There's a bigger probably social aspect, which I absolutely love. It's like everybody over here, they play hard, but there's a fantastic social aspect, off the green as well. Everybody's very friendly. Like I can't thank the people in the country enough for the opportunity they gave to me in life, and they've made truly and genuinely a dream come true for me. So yeah, I can't talk highly enough of Australia and bowls here.
Yeah, mate, sorry, I'm just having a flashback to the wind, because I was there when you first experienced the wind. Remember the Junior World Cup in 2009? That back synthetic at Warilla that it was at the time?
Yeah, build a wall. Build a wall.
Oh, that was an experience. Me and Andy didn't know where to look there, but yeah, that was a good one. 2019 still, mate, that brought you that first elusive world title, winning that World Cup, which has now been merged into whatever it is now. So you're the last actual winner of the World Cup as it was then. Nice to get that first win, first world title, mate.
Yeah, to win something with the word world in it's pretty special, obviously it's the pinnacle of the game, and it's something that no one can ever take away from you, you're taking that to the grave, you know what I mean? So it was pretty cool, and it's one of the ones that I sort of came close a few times, like Commonwealth bronze, and back the World Indoor Bowls Council came runner up, and things like that. A couple of junior events, I got a semi-final and things, and I got close a few times, and there's no denying that you got to be mentally tough and mentally strong, but sometimes the little questions creep in, have I got it in me to actually achieve this and things like that. And yeah, to get that win and win that World Cup was absolutely amazing, and it really motivated me and really encouraged me, and yeah, helped me grow within my own confidence as a person as well, and it really set up my journey here in Australia too. It really, because at the end of the day, there are people that wouldn't maybe have necessarily knew sort of who Gary Kelly was over here, which is fair. That there's not a problem with that. But thankfully, it was an opportunity for me to really showcase myself and get my name, I suppose, out here in Australia. And I think from that, it definitely did open up more opportunities and things like that, which was absolutely great. So that meant a lot.
Bit of a relief and a monkey off the back too, would you say, mate, or do you not really see it that way?
I suppose there's a yes and no to that. Like the questions was probably creeping into my mind a little bit, if I be absolutely truthful. But at the same time, I did know that I had the determination and the passion for the sport, and I did honestly believe in my ability as well. So yeah, there was relief, of course, there was.
Yeah, I still remember an interview. Actually, I don't know if you remember this. You went to Potters. Greg Harlow defeated you in the first round. And it was a tight game, and Greg Harlow turned around then. He says, "Look, don't worry about this. This fella's going to be a world champion." So I think plenty of people knew about you and knew what was coming, sort of thing. So it's probably nice to get that first one out of the way and go, "I can do this. Watch out." So
yeah, no, it's just nice to showcase that. Look, I can be competitive against the best, which was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So World Bowls would have been in 2020, maybe, but COVID, as we know, stuffed the world up for a while there. So, as you mentioned there before, like, you showed that commitment to Irish Bowls previously, and certainly that's held you in good stead because you wanted to still have your name in there for selections, even though you did live out here now. So, although the Worlds got missed, like you said, you were still selected to play at Birmingham, so it wasn't even, we're just going to pick Gary because he's in Australia, it's an Australian Commonwealth Games. They still took you back to the UK, to Birmingham 22, even though you lived here. So how was it, mate, to get that call and for them to show that faith in you? And what commitments did you still have to make to Irish Bowls to allow you to be selected for that event?
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing for them to showcase that trust and belief and loyalty towards me. And, as you say, like a Northern Hemisphere event, me based in the Southern Hemisphere. So for them to showcase that to me meant a lot, absolutely. It was one of the ones I just continued to keep a connection, keep communication with Irish Bowls, and always showcasing my ambitions, my determination, desire to represent, to play for them. Basically saying whatever's on the line, whatever's required, if it's possible, I will do what it takes to achieve this opportunity. So they always knew that drive and that passion was there within me. Say that they just needed to be seeing me participating in events, getting wins on the board. And then there's obviously Zoom meetings and things like that. So staying in communication, staying in connection. Obviously, there's the Sports Institute in Northern Ireland involved. So there's the psychological side of things. There's a physical side of things, and then nutritional, and also obviously all that had to be taken on board and listening to all that and trying to develop myself within them areas as well. And then there was that, well, okay, you're based on the hemisphere, but you've got to make the effort to come back to the Northern Hemisphere, UK, whatever, and participate, play, practice, put the effort in, on the green, put the hard yards in. So obviously I was back in the April, May for the World Indoor Championships, because I was going back as a current champion of the World Cup.
Yep.
Because obviously COVID a couple of years. So back then, played in that, and then they also selected me to represent Ireland in the European Championships, which was a couple of weeks or whatever before the Commonwealth. So that was a fantastic, I suppose, warm-up, if you'd like to call it, before the event as well. So I had to show my commitment to go back early to participate in them things and everything. But listen, I was more than happy to do that. As I say, what's happening out here is amazing. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm loving the journey, and I hope it continues for forever. But yeah, look, I'll always remember my roots, and if anyone comes calling me, I'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And yeah, I remember you having to go back for that, and obviously getting the gold at the European justified the selection too. Any nerves going into that event, mate, having to go back to adapt to those greens? Like, I've always found it harder to go that way than to come this way, type of thing. To go from a slow green to a quick green was easier than to go from a fast green to a slow green.
Look, it definitely had its
It all just
challenges
comes down, but I
that there.
suppose with guys playing at your level, it all just comes down to your preparation. That's what that was, really, wasn't it?
Exactly, it is genuinely preparation, and I think the weird thing as well for myself personally, my delivery is definitely not textbook by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, I think it's a delivery that does allow me to be versatile and allows me
Mm.
to be competitive, but able to change and adapt between the slow and the fast, reasonably quick. So I think it's something that is to my advantage. I've always believed. But yeah, it's pretty much just that dedication and putting the time and
Yeah.
effort in. I'm lucky where when I've been going back home to Northern Ireland, I stay with my parents, and I'm very fortunate they're based like a 3 to 5 minute walk away from my home club.
Yeah.
So it's very very easy to just walk up, put a couple hours effort in, and get do the drills and all that there, and put the time and effort on the green, because that's what it all came down to in the end.
Yep. Well, it certainly held you in good stead, mate, and there was definitely an improvement here in the from the 2018. I remember talking to you after the disappointment you had in the triples, but I could just tell that you were pretty much in the zone there. I remember going into work and guys were talking about the results and stuff, and they were looking at a betting app, and I'm not much of a punter, so I wouldn't know what was going on, but I just said to him, I said, mate, if you can put a bet on him, I'm betting on him at least making the final, because you just seem to be dialed in from talking to you. Did you feel that yourself, mate? Did you feel like after that disappointment of maybe not getting as far as what you should have, you drew a bit of a line in the sand there and righto, singles time. I've got a bronze in this. Watch, and it's game on now, because like certainly, as I said, from talking to you and from watching over here, the results that were coming up, you were fairly making your way through the field.
Yeah, no, there was definitely disappointment in the triples not qualifying. There's no doubt about that there. Look, I definitely just got the sort of the bit between my teeth, and I just had this personal and individual motivation that was like, look, like there has to be success, pretty much.
Mm.
Like my journey within Irish Bowls, being based in Australia, was going to be success driven, and I wanted to be part of Ireland's journey. So for me, it was like, this is a must. This has to happen. And there's a lot of great things happening for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland set a record, and the medals were coming in, and I was like, we want to be part of this. But also, I knew if there was failure there, it generally could be the end for me for Irish Bowls, and I put that pressure on myself, and I knew that.
Yep.
So I was really determined, because I wanted to showcase, I can be successful. I can help the country achieve success, because I'm at that stage where, I don't care anymore. It's about representing my country. It's not about representing me or what I'm achieving. It's about what to get it done for the country, and to be part of the journey, and to continue to wear that green shirt. So I really wanted it. It was a must for me. And that's just the way I seen it, and that's the way I played the competition. Every game was a final. It was, I got to win this. You know what I mean? And that was the passion and the headspace I was in for that, for the singles during the Commonwealth Games.
Certainly, it was easy to pick up, mate. Definitely from talking to you, it was certainly easy to pick up. The final was a bit of a tough one to watch, mate, so we won't dwell on that too much. Like, Disco was obviously on a mission there. He was the defending champion. He wanted to prove he could do it overseas as well as in Australia, so I'm well played to him, mate. But once that dust settled, you got over the disappointment of losing in the final. Was there a sense of pride there again and being able to respond to the disappointment from 2018, come home with that medal, and get yourself, just get yourself in that final and bring another medal home?
Yeah, look, of course, the final was definitely disappointing, and I want to be honest and straight about it. It was definitely a point of embarrassment as well. There's no doubt about that, and I'm not shy away from that. But taking nothing away from Disco, it was absolutely fantastic, and what an achievement. Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere, dual Commonwealth singles back to back. It's a pretty cool story for him, and I congratulate him for that. And look, at the end of the day, I want to achieve success. I want to do well. I want to win. All that, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, mate, we're out there. We're trying to showcase our sport. We're trying to sell it to the public. We're trying to showcase the skill set within the sport, how good you have to be to achieve success and things like that. And look, we're on a stage there together trying to, basically entertain and put smiles on people's faces, and make people be engrossed in the game and the sport. And, I was on that stage with him, and look, he was a better man on the day, and I definitely congratulate him. So obviously, in the moment, there's definitely a lot of emotions for me. The 110% there was. But yeah, look, a few weeks passed or whatever, and it's one of them ones where, another medal at a major event. Personally, as I said to you there, I really genuinely believe it was a make or break for me. It truly was if I wanted my journey to continue with Northern Ireland and Ireland. So yeah, to show that determination, that passion, and get another medal at a major was something that once again I am proud of, and yeah, just really cool to be part of that experience.
Yeah, well, at the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics, man, they've obviously got that medal table running on how the countries are doing. When you're there, do you find yourself looking, going, right, how's Northern Ireland doing? It's not just about the bowls, it's about all the other sports. And then obviously there'll probably be a sense of pride there to go, you look at the total and go, yep, I've added to that.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, mate. You're fitting into everything, and let's be honest, it's a real journey, and there's a roller coaster of emotions, you know what I mean, and you want every positive you can get from it. So if you're seeing your country's tally going up and up and up, and you feed off that, success breeds. So
Yeah.
you take that on board, and at the end of the day, mate, you be happy to see other people succeed. Yeah, I suppose there's a wee tear in the eye there for them to see them living out their dream, and you're like, you know what, let's do this, let's fire up and try and live out my dream as well here, and help that tally go up for my country. So absolutely, you feed off that.
Nice. So, right, mate, so you finish that event, you come back to Australia. I suppose the focus then turns to World Bowls. So between these events, obviously there's on a normal calendar, there's 2 years between Commonwealth Games, World Bowls. I mean, you play a lot of different events in that time. So how often in that period are you thinking World Bowls selection, Commonwealth Games selection, got to perform here, got to get my name out there? Is that always at the forefront of your mind, or is it only at particular times you really sort of concentrate on it?
I suppose it's always there. I'd achieved that success at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and I know I'm based in the Southern Hemisphere, so I know my chances of selection is there. There is an opportunity of potentially being selected, but once again, I've got to showcase my skill, and I've got to try and get positive results, wins on the board here, to showcase that I am competing here as well, and I am competitive, and I can help my country in the World Championships gain success. So yeah, it's definitely there in your mind going into every event, because at the end of the day, there is a lot of social media now, and it is definitely getting out there. So every win is being showcased and things like that there. So yeah, look, it's important, and it's always there every event.
Yeah, good. On to Broadbeach then, 2023 World Bowls, mate. That was a phenomenal couple of weeks from the outside looking in. You obviously won the pairs in the first week with Adam, and then there wasn't much of a break, and you've gone on a charge in the singles. This again, it didn't quite go your way. Ryan seemed to be destined to win that at his own club, but overall, mate, how would you rate that championships on a personal level compared to the others that you've been to?
Yeah, no, that was an amazing journey. That was an incredible experience, and yeah, probably like a highlight in my career within the sport. There's no doubt about that. To play along with Adam, there was a true belief there within Adam and myself. We were lucky enough to get the opportunity to play the multi-nations a few months prior, and we won gold together in the pairs. So we had belief and trust in each other and that there, and yeah, to get an opportunity to play with him, and and funny enough, in the group stages, we were playing really well, but we were at a stage, the last game of the groups, playing India, and I actually faced game last ball, and if I missed, we're gone. And thankfully, I was good enough to draw the shot, and yeah, look, obviously the rest is history, and it's quite ironic, like I'm playing a world final against the guy that was the backbone behind the opportunity of me coming to this country.
Yeah.
RMTs, and then you're also playing against the guy that you've just shared the stage with two other major events, and he's got the better of me twice, and ironically the pairs, 7 years later, here we are, the both of us in the final again, and so yeah, it was very emotional actually, that one, to be fair, just for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, the determination was there, and thankfully Adam and I got the job done, and then the charge and singles, obviously I just grew from the gold and the pairs, and there's definitely a lot of belief and a lot of confidence there, and that was showcased on the green, and I was performing genuinely quite well, and really enjoying it as well. I was enjoying the pressure and the big moments, and that it was a great feeling. And yeah, look, that final, I suppose just destiny in the end. Like I was on the verge of something extremely special. Like I don't actually know the records exactly. I think maybe one other person ever has won the singles and pairs world at the one time. I know no one from Ireland had done it, so that was definitely in my mind, and I really, really wanted it. But look, at the end of the day, sometimes it's just not your day, and I truly believe I played the Bulls good enough to win it. But at the same time, look, if I had to honestly pick somebody in the whole world to get that win in the end, it was Ryan, and I was genuinely, honestly, delighted for him. My heart was broke, truthfully, but I was delighted for him. For him to go 4 major singles in a row, silver, and then to get there, and look, I was delighted for him, and that actually overcame my own personal emotions. To be honest, I was really happy for him. I was on the verge of something special, but no, look, fate and destiny got the better of me. But listen, no better man, and he truly deserves that title. Congratulations to him on that.
You've been to the top of the sport. You've won club titles, state titles, national titles in 2 countries. What goals and ambitions do you still have in the game personally? What do you want to see yourself achieve in the next 4, 5, 6, 10 years?
Yeah, look, I mean, everybody that knows me knows I play the game extremely hard, but very fair. Even in a roll-up, I'm super competitive. I want to win every single time. There's no doubt about that. And look, mate, look, a silly thing. I want to win everything. I want to win everything I play in. Obviously, I've been lucky enough to get that world gold. I would love a Commonwealth gold to go along with that. That's definitely something that I aspire to try and achieve. Absolutely. So that'll definitely be at the forefront of my mind. Gold medal Commonwealth Games. That's what I would love, what I want. From a personal level, I suppose, but from a company as well. And then obviously here in Australia, there's so many great opportunities. I know you just want to play in a ring and win. There's a golden nugget would be amazing. I've came close, runner up, held the title, and Omar was good enough to produce the ball to beat me. A golden nugget would be incredible, and Aussie Open singles would be incredible. So there's so many opportunities over here, and yeah, mate, I just look forward to having a crack at them all. You know what I mean? And that's truly it. But yeah, mate, look, I just want to continue to try and do well. Represent myself, my family, my friends, my country, and try and make everyone proud, I suppose, and try and create my own little bit of legacy or whatever. But yeah, I suppose just about making the loved ones and the people it means the most to and stuff like that proud, I suppose, really.
Yeah, so what have you got coming up in the near future, mate?
Yeah, so obviously, mate, based in Australia, you know yourself, there's always something to look forward to in the Bulls scene. It's busy, the calendar's busy, but yeah, looking forward to the Australian Open. Absolutely love going up for that event. It's a great opportunity, so really look forward to that. Thankfully, I've got a rematch against the great man Ryan Bester, the World Singles rematch on Friday the 7th at 6:30 at Broadbeach. Yeah, so really looking forward to that. I enjoy sharing the green with Ryan, so that should be a cracker. Hopefully, we can both perform well and put on a good show. Yeah, and then I'm fortunate enough, I've been selected to represent my country again, so I'll be going back to Ireland, playing against England in a test series. So yeah, that's mid-July. So that opportunity is pretty cool once again to wear the green shirt and represent my country. It means a lot. So yeah, it's an exciting few weeks coming up.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of travel for you, isn't it? I mean, you're based at Warilla, but you play Victoria, you play Queensland, you go out down to Adelaide for the singles there as well. You fairly get around, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. No, the frequent flyer points definitely keep it up. But look, it's definitely a big dedication and sacrifice as such. But for myself and for my partner and different things, but she's fully supportive, which means a lot to me. And yeah, look, man, just living my best life and trying to achieve the best I can in the sport and trying to have a crack.
Yeah. Well, that's all the main questions, mate. We'll just crack on with we finish off with Ray as well with some, we'll call it quick fire, but take as long as you want, mate. We'll just ask some basic questions that some of the bowlers around the traps might want to hear. So one of the obvious ones, mate, make, model and size of bowl that you're currently using.
Yeah, okay, so normally I play with Aero Optima size 4 Z scoop grip.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in carpets, I will play with Quantums as well, but normally, Aero Optimus.
Very good. Best greens you've ever played on?
There's quite a few to pick from, but I do love the greens Ballina at Cherry Street Sports there. I've played Summerland singles up there 2 or 3 times and really love the greens up there. They're great.
I've heard a lot of good things. See, Bulls New South Wales are sending their state championships up there next year.
They are indeed. Look, whoever qualifies, they'll not be disappointed. The greens are lovely there.
Might actually have a crack, mate. See if I can get myself in a good team and see if I can get up there. So I might. Mate, who would be the biggest influence on your bowls career?
Biggest influence? As in, like, someone that you kind of idolised a little bit, looked up to, or whatever, someone that you admired for what they were achieving and things, a biased thing, Jeremy, what Jeremy Henry achieved within Ireland, and then what he's achieved over here is absolutely fantastic. So, he's definitely been a big influence as such, as in someone that, you watched and, and how he performed and played. From a more off the green and kind of looking after me as such and trying to encourage and motivate me and keep me in the right path and things like that, whatever. Thomas Smith has played a huge part in my bowls career, he definitely has. He's been like a father figure to me within the bowls scene, and so Tommy's been a huge influence and he's been a big part of my bowls career, and that's other quite ironic thing in that, to win that world title with Adam and to have Tommy Smith sitting there on the sideline with us was it was pretty special. There was a wee bit of a tear in the eye there for the two of us to share that moment because, obviously he had me under his wing from the age of 12, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good to have those moments, mate, isn't it, to look back on? So it is. Mate, is there any players out there you hate to face or you're not particularly, you're up for a battle as soon as you go out to play them? Yeah,
it's not I wouldn't be a fact of hating playing this person, but you just know, mate, it's not a game of bowls. It's an absolute journey you're going on.
Yeah.
My old mate Ian McClure, just mate, I don't hate playing, but you're going on a journey, man. It's a grind.
He's gonna push you to places you don't want to go.
Yeah, it's not just a game of bowls. You're going to war, But love his passion. I've played with him a lot of times. We've been lucky to share a lot of great memories that we'll both cherish forever. But yeah, look, stepping on the green with Ian, that's an experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But mate, his longevity is up there with the best of them, isn't it? Like, he's been to that many worlds in Commonwealth, so he's one of the big names from home that we all sort of looked up to when we were coming through, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. No, mate, what he does for the sport and what he's continuing to do both on and off the green back in Ireland, as a development officer and stuff as well, and really promoting and pushing, the regional academies and all that there, and he's involved in the para side of things. Are trying to really get that off the ground back, and a lot of great things happening there. And credit to all of them and the whole country what they're trying to achieve. It's absolutely fantastic. Bowls is really progressing and moving in the right direction in Ireland, Northern Ireland. So it's awesome to see. And Ian's playing a big part in that. So what he's done on and off the green is just incredible. Hats off to him.
It's always good when someone's done so well out of the game and they try to give back to it, mate, isn't it? So
absolutely,
certainly a good role model. Mate, favorite club that you've been to?
Mate, obviously, it's cheap, but Warilla, I just love it. Love the place, love the club.
Yes.
It was the first club I've ever visited. My first time coming to Australia was 2009 for the World Junior Cup, it was called at the time, and it was based here at Warilla, and it was a real eye-opener to me at that time. It's like, wow, look at this place, look at the size of it, and I just love this club, it's incredible.
Favourite country that you visited to play?
I've been around quite a few, but once again, as Australia, there's nowhere better for bowls. There's nowhere better for bowls, It's the biggest, the best, the most professional. It is truly the place to be for the sport of lawn bowls, no doubt.
Yep. So another one we go to, mate. Favourite footy team and code?
It's very difficult with the time difference, but Manchester United, man. Obviously the football. I was a very passionate fan. I have to say, just with the time difference, I probably don't get to watch and follow it as much as I would like to, but definitely, obviously, like to see them do well, and getting a little win in the FA Cup against City was pretty nice the other night. So me
and Simon touched on that. Yeah, we touched on that in one of the other podcasts, because it was just after the FA Cup. Did you get to watch it? I stayed up.
I truthfully didn't. I'll be honest enough to admit that. I watched the highlights and stuff, but
Yeah.
waking up to that result was pretty nice.
Oh, it would have been, mate. It would have been, I'm say. Mate, did you play any other sports when you were younger, and what level did you get to?
So I didn't play any at a great level or anything, but I did play like football at school level. Just played hurling and Gaelic at the school level, and then I really enjoyed playing like snooker and pool.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed playing them. Once again, never at any major level or anything, but just from an enjoyment perspective. And I was reasonably good at it actually, the pool and the snooker. But yeah, I never really tried to achieve anything in it. But yeah, enjoyed them.
Good, mate. Favorite food?
Favorite food? I mean, I like all of it to be fair, but mainly my favorite would probably be Thai. Yeah, I really enjoy Thai
Yep.
food. It's lovely. Yeah.
Nice. Favorite drink?
Favorite drink, mate. I miss my old Magner's Irish apple cider. I miss it. I have to say, probably my favorite. But here in Australia, Bulmer's apple
Yeah.
cider. So
Yep.
Bulmer's apple cider, yeah. Here in Australia.
Cool. Favorite holiday location, mate?
Don't really necessarily say I would have one, truthfully. But I would love to experience the Maldives at some point. That would be definitely a goal. That would be pretty cool. Pina colada, the Maldives sounds nice, mate.
Good on you. Mate, if you weren't playing bowls, what do you think you'd be doing?
Yeah, if I wasn't playing bowls, it's not that if I would be doing it, but what I would like to do if I wasn't would be darts. Mate, just how good's
Yeah.
darts?
Oh, mate, the atmosphere.
What an incredible sport.
Oh, atmosphere is just out of this world, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the way they've marketed that sport and stuff and what they've done with it, and the way it's grown and developed is just awesome. And yeah, it's so enjoyable to watch. And obviously, there's a lot of money involved there now too. And you know, and like, look at that young guy, Luke Littler. My goodness, 17. It's just incredible.
Phenomenal, isn't it? He just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, but he's a fantastic message to the world for any sport. You know, for anyone. You know, if you're ambitious enough, age, you know, it's only a number.
It is too, mate. It is too. All right, mate. If you could change one rule or one thing about the game to make it better, what would it be?
For me, one thing I'd like to see a change in is when it is being marketed and advertised, a lot of the time, especially from the outside sources, you know, they're very much what's known as an old man's game, and that's not the way it should be initially presented. For me personally,
Yeah.
I think that's a very negative thing. It's a sport that is available to any generation, and it's a sport that's actually available to any ability or disability. You know what I mean? It's a sport that's open to everyone out there, and that's what the message needs to be. What other sport could you have 3 to 4 generations all playing together at social level or even competitive level? You know what I mean? And that's the message that needs to be given out, not this. You know, it used to be an old man sport, now a young person sport, and all this. That shouldn't be the message. The message should be it's a sport that's open to any generation and any ability.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's a very good one. I like that one. Advice for all the bowlers out there aspiring to be the next Gary Kelly.
To be the next Gary Kelly, my goodness. No, look, I think it's important just for everyone to just be you, appreciate who you are and what you are, and you know, just back yourself and appreciate yourself and your ability. You know, and everybody's got their own aspirations of what they want to try and achieve. And at the end of the day, whatever puts a smile on your face, it works. It means you're happy. Yeah, it's great to win World, Commonwealth, you know, all these different things. That's fantastic. The most important thing is true happiness, true, genuine, you know, enjoyment. Reach for your own stars. Everybody's stars is at a different level. Do what's within your own realistic, you know, ability and things like that, and enjoy it and embrace it. And don't let anyone tell you different, you know. If you're happy with what you've achieved, that's awesome.
Awesome. Right, mate, so the final big question then, rate the What a Load of Bulls podcast out of 10.
Look, what I think you guys are doing is awesome. I'll give you an 8 out of 10. I think it's awesome. I think what you're doing is really cool. From a bias point of view and stuff, I'm genuinely very proud of you. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, it's nice to see what you're trying to do for the sport and that there. So I hope you get the support that it deserves. And yeah, 8 out of 10, mate.
I appreciate that, mate. That's a good one. Mate, all honesty, like, we've been mates for a long time. I still really appreciate you giving up your time, because I know in particular just how busy you actually are. I mean, how many times have I tried to catch up with you? You're never around. But, mate, I really genuinely thank you for giving up the time to do this. I really hope we can showcase who Gary Kelly is just off the green as well as not just on the green, not just that big personality that people see, you know, on the BPL stage and stuff like that. You're actually quite a humble individual, mate, and I hope more people sort of get to see that. So, honestly, guys, thank you for giving up the time, mate.
No worries, no. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and as I say, I'm proud of what you're doing, and yeah, continue and hopefully it gets the support it deserves.
Good on you, mate. And thanks, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. If you have any further questions for Gary, feel free to shoot them through to us. I can pass them on personally, or we never know. We might be able to get him back on for another show at some stage if there's a bit more that people want to hear. He's had a pretty good story, and I'm sure there's more that we could share at some stage. So again, Gaza, thank you, buddy. And that's all for us for this one.
All right, DJ, that was a fascinating interview with Gary Kelly. Some great insights there into the mindset of one of our elite bowlers, and somebody obviously who's done a lot in bowls in both the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere as well, to making that move down here. And I think clearly came across like his drive and determination for success, and willing to battle and put the hard yards in. And yeah, obviously he's had great success in major events within our sport. So yeah, that was great, DJ, to get that bit of insight into Gary Kelly and how he works on and off the bowls green.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what we want to see from these players, and that's what sets them apart from just your average Joe at the end of the day. Like we've touched on previously, like everyone that plays the game can draw that side rest and toucher. Everyone can hit that drive. But these guys hit it more regular because they've got that bit of mongrel in them.
Yeah.
No, just something out there, as you said, that drive and determination that Gary's always sort of had. And it's so easy for people to, like young fellas, to burst onto the scene like Gary did. Maybe not to the extent Gary did, because it was pretty. I remember coming through and thinking, "Jeepers, where's this fella come from?" You know. Yeah. But he built on that. Like we know plenty of guys back at home that we played with as well. Like to be honest, we had a pretty golden generation. I often wonder where a lot of these guys have gone, because there's only really a guy that's gone through it, but some of them have just fallen by the wayside. You know, and it's because other factors after they get older just get in the way of it.
Yeah.
But Gary just had that he didn't rest on his laurels from a young age. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew where he wanted to be. And like we said in the intro, as we said in the interview, I knew that out here is where he needed to be, just because the opportunities, you know, you and I have had.
Yeah.
And what he could do out here. And to hear him talking about, I just had to get the timing right. No, I wasn't coming out like a backpacker like you were, DJ. I was coming out here to actually, because I was a name and I wanted to make it. And he's done that. And he's done that very, very well. He's a citizen of the country and everything now, but he still flies back, does everything he needs to do for Bowls Ireland and Northern Ireland so he can still play in those games, because he's still determined to represent the country and still determined to play in those big events. So, yeah, it's a good insight into Gaz. And a lot of people they only see Gary on TV. That can get fiery at times. And, this just sort of shows, James can't even speak there, sort of shows that he does have that humble side to him. And, you know, just what he can be like off the green, which a lot of the top players are like that. They can be absolute animals on the green.
Yep.
But you get them off and you sit behind afterwards, and it's just, everyone's left on the green. But that's just that, you know, that's just that determination in them to go, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
I want to be I want to be top dog in the yard.
Yeah. And I think, DJ, that alludes to that next level. Like there's a lot of quality bowlers around the grounds in Australia. And they at every single tournament you go to, there's somebody that you go, geez, he's a good player. But what makes it then to that next level of playing World Bowls, Commonwealth Games, and maybe Gary kind of opened that window a little bit to the mindset and drive and determination that you need to make it to the very top, the very pinnacle of our sport. And I mean, any of our bowlers, no matter what grade you play, if you want to take that step up the ladder in terms of your ability and playing ability, you can take a lot from that interview from Gary. You know, what are those extra steps that you need to do and your mindset in order to take your game to that next level?
Yep. And good place to finish there, mate. I suppose we want to hear, especially with these particular podcasts where we interview players, what do the people out there want to hear? What do they want to know? So please get in touch with us. Drop a few comments in. We'll talk about this one a bit more next week because it's been quite a long one, so we'll let this one slide for now. But we'll talk about this one a bit more next week. And yeah, like I said, if there's anything out there, look at the comments and see what else we can come up with. And like I said, Gary, like it's easy to talk to Gary because we know him so well, so we could get him on for 2-3 more interviews and find out really what makes him tick and stuff if people want. And if it's receptive, I know he's the type of guy that would be happy to do that. So yeah, share it, like it, do everything you got to do, folks. Get everyone around your club listening. It was good. Like I said, down at St. John's today, they had the flyer up on the wall made about the podcast, and they've shared it with the members and stuff. So it's good to see that a club like that is taking an interest, and other clubs around the areas, around the state and around the country too, just sharing the podcast and generating a bit of interest. And there's definitely a lot of positive stuff, mate. So it's been good for us. We're definitely, as we keep saying, we're enjoying this. So
yeah, it's been fun. And we'll keep doing it, DJ. We'll keep getting some content, keep sharing stuff that our community comes up with, and as a forum of discussion for Bulls. Yeah. And if anyone hasn't seen it at the moment, DJ, we put out a post there on social media regarding a certain question, and I think my phone has been red hot all day with social media notifications, DJ. We've absolutely blew up my phone today because we put one question out there on social media. So if anyone hasn't seen it, jump onto our Facebook page and have a look at the question. DJ, what was the question?
The question was, if you could change one rule in bowls, what would it be? And it has gone cataclysmic. Yeah. So it has. Cataclysmic. But
there's been a wide variety, a wide range of not only conditions of play, rules, what you can wear, can't wear, everything and anything has been commented on that question. So at the moment, DJ, we've had it up for about 24 hours and we've had over 750 comments on that post. So I think what we'll do, DJ, over maybe a few weeks, we will break it down and we'll have a look at those comments, because there is a lot of gold in those comments. There might be some silly things and, just flippant remarks, obviously, but there's some stuff that is definitely gold in there that people want to talk about in terms of our sport. So I think we'll have an episode or two on sort of reviewing those comments.
Review them over the next couple of weeks or whatever. Yeah, that'll be good. I think we will.
So
that'll be good.
Listeners out there, you definitely have to take 5 minutes and go and maybe add your 2 pence worth of comment to that social media post.
Yeah, definitely. I might even take a few into my interview tomorrow, mate. The state match committee got back in touch.
Ooh.
So they did. So I've got a 10 to 15 minute interview tomorrow, which will be Wednesday as we speak. So I better brush up on those 50 pages of conditions of play.
That's it, and put your best foot forward, right? And good luck.
That's it, man. Look, all I want to see is that we do the best thing for the sport, and rules that get set out at the start of the season get followed to the T, and things are black and white. Therefore, there's no arguments about what's going on in the sport. So that's what I'll be aiming to do. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they still like the podcast and this won't get in the way, but like I said, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Good stuff, mate.
Yeah. Right, folks, well, I'll do this for this week. Again, hope you all enjoyed it. Get in touch. Plenty of comments. Get on the contact page on the Bulls Academy, www.thebullsacademy.com. Let us know what you think, and we will see you all next week. Just remember, keep that little disc on the inside.
Catch you all next week, folks, and good luck on those greens.